Free agency is starting to steal the show.
It's not that much to get a 2-year look at somebody who could potentially be a franchise quarterback for you. So I love that move for the Jets, bringing in Justin Fields.
How about we take a look at the biggest signings that we've seen to date and grade them on the value and fit to their respective teams. Washington Commanders, Michael Gallup, B-. Here comes Michael Gallup back from his football sabbatical and right back into the NFC East. Only now he signed with the Washington Commanders, the team announced Thursday. Gallup was once a rising star in Dallas, but he tore his ACL and then unexpectedly retired after signing with Las Vegas. Well, now at 28 and suddenly unretired, he joins a Commanders squad that is on the rise. And Gallup is a nice piece to fold in there. Dallas Cowboys, Miles Sanders, C-. His Pro Bowl season in Philly feels like a decade ago now. Since then, it's just been all downhill. He was a ghost in Carolina, running behind an admittedly weak line and looking like he forgot how to hit the hole. He combined for just 637 total rushing yards and 3 TDs in 2 seasons with the Panthers, and was clearly an afterthought in the offense by the end of his tenure. Dallas is hoping that he can find new life with the star on his helmet. But come on, let's face it, the guy has simply not been the same. Philadelphia Eagles, Azeez Ojulari, B+. Ojulari peaked early in New York, 8 sacks as a rookie, then came to IR stints, the inconsistency, and the roster squeeze once Brian Burns showed up. But hey, he is still just 24. He's still twitchy, and he's going to a defense that doesn't need him to be the guy. He just has to be one of the guys who gets home. For Philly, this is a low-risk, high-ceiling. This is Howie Roseman doing what he does best, grabbing discount talent with upside and putting a new shine on it. New York Jets, Justin Fields, A. This might be the best bet anyone's made all offseason, or at least the Jets have made in recent years. They didn't go dumpster diving for a washed-up vet. They didn't mortgage the future for a college maybe. They got Justin Fields, who is still 26 years old, despite having a career full of chaos on his resume. And they paid him like a backup with control over year 2. That is huge. Minnesota Vikings, Jonathan Allen, A-. The Vikings defense turned into a heat-seeking missile under Brian Flores last year, but they were missing that one guy who could collapse a pocket from the inside. Enter Jonathan Allen, 2-time Pro Bowler, 45 pressures per year, and a relentless engine between the guards. Yeah, he's not that young anymore, but hey, the fit is perfect, and Flores should be able to leverage him perfectly. Tennessee Titans, Kevin Zeitler, B. Zeitler played great football in Detroit's O-line last year, and it looks like he's following the bag to the Music City. Whether it's Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders behind center, they're going to need a vet like Zeitler watching their blind side and barking protections. He won't be the flashiest signing of the offseason, and it isn't win now, but when your franchise quarterback stays upright because of this dude, you're going to be glad that you spent the $9 million. Dallas Cowboys, Dante Fowler Jr., B+. Fowler's coming off his best season since 2019. 10.5 sacks, a full bag of tricks off the edge, and a motor that doesn't shut off. He was one of the few bright spots on the Washington defense last year, and now he returns to a Cowboys defense that needs a new identity. Even if Fowler regresses a tick, and hey, that is definitely possible at 30, $6 million is still a bargain that Cowboys fans should be excited about. Dallas Cowboys, Javonte Williams, C-. Yeah, he's a decent pass catcher, but come on, that doesn't justify handing the keys to a back with twice the wear and tear as Dottle. For $3 million, it's not a bank-breaking move, but still, it feels like a downgrade in a backfield that needed a step forward. Las Vegas Raiders, Raheem Mostert, C. At 32, Mostert is a burner running on borrowed time. He's still fast, he's still dangerous in space, but let's be real, just how much tread is exactly left on those wheels? Las Vegas is clearly hoping that the Dolphins didn't squeeze every last drop of productivity out of him, and that he's going to be able to bring some burst to what many expect to be a new-look offense. Now, all that said, if he's just a part-time piece, then hey, this could be a great signing. But if Vegas thinks that he's a bell cow back at this point in his career, well, we could see the gamble blow up in their face. Chicago Bears, Drew Dalman, B+. This one flew under the radar. but it is a sharp addition. Drew Dalman is a great fit to slot into Ben Johnson's offense. He has thrived blocking in outside zones and moves very well in space, which is critical for the center. Yeah, he's not exactly a household name or anything, but when you watch the Bears rip off 15-yard chunk plays on the ground next year, and Caleb Williams actually has a pocket to throw from, Dalman will probably be one of the first people that Bears fans should thank. Miami Dolphins, James Daniels, B. If James Daniels hadn't popped his Achilles last fall, we'd be talking about him as one of the top interior linemen in all of football. But he's just 27 years old, and they got him on a discount with a 3-year, $26.5 million deal. Plus, he gets a solid chance in Miami, where the scheme is tailor-made for his skill set. New York Giants, Javon Holland, B. The Giants secondary fell off a cliff last year with Xavier McKinney's departure, and it's clear that the front office finally recognized that it needs to bring in proper reinforcements, a la Javon Holland. He played the position like a true center fielder with range, instincts, and enough pop in his tackling to back it up. He's also been rock solid in coverage. Since 2021, he's allowed just 0.44 yards per coverage snap in closed coverages. That's elite company. Los Angeles Chargers, Mekhi Becton, C+. After struggling to find his footing at tackle in New York, Mekhi Becton looked reborn in Philadelphia last year, as he really thrived shifting to the interior of the offensive line. The Eagles kept it simple for him, let him use that massive frame to anchor against bull rushes and clear lanes in the run game. And the result was a career year. Well, now the Chargers are banking on that version of Becton showing up. They don't need him at tackle. That's Alton Slater's job. They just need him to solidify an interior line that gave up the most knockdowns in the league last year. If he stays healthy, and that is still a big if at this point, then sure, this could work. But you are really playing with fire when it comes to Becton's durability. The Seattle Seahawks, Cooper Kupp, C-. The Seahawks cleaned house at wide receiver, moving on from both DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and then tried to patch the hole with a name brand that is dangerously close to its expiration date. Kupp has been a thorn in the Seahawks side for years, but we don't have a lot of confidence that they're gonna be getting the same level of play out of the veteran at this stage of his career. He has looked like a shell of his former self over the past couple of seasons in LA. Not to mention, he also traditionally played a very similar role in the offense to the incumbent Jackson Smith-Njigba, and it isn't super clear how they're gonna plan around that. This isn't Madden. You can't just stack 2 slot receivers and expect it to work. The fit is awkward. The timing is completely off. And at 31, coming off of multiple injuries, Kupp might be more of a marketing campaign to sell some jerseys more than anything else. Minnesota Vikings, Javon Hargrave, C+. On paper, this deal makes a lot of sense. Javon Hargrave is a big name and a nice player, but stuffing the run has not traditionally been his strong suit. If you need someone to collapse the pocket, sure, Hargrave helps. But the Vikings need someone to anchor the run game in January, and we are not confident that Hargrave hits the mark here. Carolina Panthers, Rico Dowdle, B+. The Carolina Panthers scored one of the best values of the 2025 offseason in Rico Dowdle. The Panthers have been a punchline the last few years, but that tune started to change last season, and snagging Rico Dowdle for $3 million could help bolster their new image. Los Angeles Rams, Devontae Adams, A-. While last year was, well, a bit of a circus for Devontae Adams, he has made the wise decision to separate his friendship with Aaron Rodgers from his career. The Rams were able to ink him to a 2-year, $44 million deal as the replacement for Cooper Kupp, who happened to be a cap casualty this offseason. Adams has a great opportunity in LA, lining up across from Puka Nacua, as the two should be able to run very complementary routes. It'll be interesting to see how Adams comes to life in McVay's offense. Kansas City Chiefs, Jalen Moore, C+. Kansas City desperately needed to retool their O-line after that disaster of a Super Bowl. But we're not sure that Jalen Moore was the answer. He's still only 27, but he's primarily served as a backup in San Francisco, starting just 12 games in 4 seasons. That is quite a bold strategy, trusting the health of Patrick Mahomes to an unproven guy like Moore. Denver Broncos, Dre Greenlaw, B+. The Denver Broncos are starting to build out a nice defensive front, and a swing like this on Dre Greenlaw, who is still essentially returning from injury, is exactly what they should be doing. Denver led the league with 63 sacks in 2024 and was ranked 3rd in points allowed, and slotting even 85% of Greenlaw into that could be scary for opposing offenses. And at 3 years, $35 million, well, it was a relative bargain. The Seattle Seahawks, DeMarcus Lawrence, B. DeMarcus Lawrence had a nice run in Dallas. 11 seasons reasons to be precise, but man did he go out with a bang, explaining publicly that he left because he knew he was never going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. Of course, not to mention the spat with Cowboys star Micah Parsons that followed. Lawrence notched 61.5 sacks and was voted to 4 Pro Bowls during his time with the Cowboys. And though he's getting up there in age, he still has a nose for getting after the quarterback. This was a solid signing for a Seattle team that needed a pass rusher. And now they're getting one that might be playing with an extra chip on his shoulder. But what do you think was the best free agent signing in 2025 free agency? Who do you think we're right on here? Who do you think we were wrong about? Was there anyone that we may have missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.